Join the girls. Like, comment, and subscribe.
Hey, girl.
Hey,
What's happening?
we're all. How you start that song?
Which one?
Where are my boosting chickens? Where y'all at? Spinning that back. Or whatever that song is.
It's catchy. It's so catchy. Oh, my goodness. They giving her a
It
run for her money.
it's so catchy. It's crazy. It's so crazy. This whole thing with the India.Arie and Carisha on Young Miami. Her whole spin that
Yeah.
song is very catchy. It's very Carisha. It's very Young Miami. It's expected from her. It's just a lot of back and forth. Even men are jumping in it. And when men get involved, I feel like saying, you know what? You need to put a skirt on because at the end of the day, it's between the women. Let the women handle it
Yeah.
because when men get involved, it just gets so disrespectful. I just envision ET with the wig and the dress on when men get into women beef. Like, shut up,
Yeah.
mind your business.
Go sit down somewhere. Go sit down.
We got this. We got this. They both can coexist. Come on,
Exactly.
stay out of women
Yeah,
business.
I agree.
Stay out of black women business.
Hmm. Mm-hmm. You said it.
I said it right.
Yeah.
So let's let's talk about how did we get here exactly, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So the way some of the media outlets are telling it, you would think that, India rewrote some big dissertation and organized a nationwide boycott of Young Miami. She did not. India.Arie did not. She commented on Here's Why Kevin's post, and somehow that turned into an entirely different story.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Here's why Kevin posted with a picture of Miami from the BET Awards where she was wearing, God, that awful, oh God, that pink and orange dress. I don't know what. Miami always be on point with her outfits, but I don't know. This red carpet look didn't do it for me.
I
All
didn't
right. Anyway,
see it.
let's,
I gotta go check it out. I didn't see it.
yeah, it looked like something that I don't know. Maybe it was a last minute thing. I don't know. It just didn't look very Young Miami ish. Okay.
Was
Anyway,
she
or
looking
red
like?
carpet.
Was she looking like AKA Trina?
Oh, I don't even know. It was like maybe second to that.
Oh God.
But
Okay.
anyway,
Yeah.
here's why Kevin he posted this. It says, "This woman stood by and defended a man accused of rape, human trafficking, revenge porn, assault, attempted unaliving, and more. We all watch him beat the beep out of a young woman he groomed since she was 17 years old.
Mm-hmm.
She wrote a character witness statement on his behalf. She also doubled down on her statement that if her son were gay, she would beat his boop.
Wow.
And what did y'all do? Give her a song of the summer. Y'all are the reasons we'll never be free." I don't agree with that last statement.
Yeah.
We are the reasons we'll never be free. That you're taking it too far. That was a bit much. He also shared the letter that Young Miami presented or sent to the judge as a character witness for Diddy.
Oh, he went that far to go dig that up
Yes,
too.
he shared that as a part of the post. And India.Arie, she commented on his post. And this is what she posted. The mass acceptance of this song itself is a crystal clear, and she wrote crystal clear in capital letters, is a crystal clear sign of the bigger problem. I finally realized that not everybody wants to get free. And it was a very rude awakening. And she wrote very in all caps, right?
Mm-hmm.
India.Arie went on to post a second post. I finally realized that not everybody wants to get free. And everybody's in all caps. And it was a very, very, very rude awakening. Shake my head. Because the mass acceptance of this song is a crystal clear sign of this much bigger truth. And here's why Kevin responded, speak on it. And then people were running with this whole idea that India.Arie was trying to boycott Miami, boycott the song. So she also posted again and she said, since I've seen so many people asking, and that was all in caps, This is the person who called for the boycott, laugh out loud. And she shared the post of Mrs. NJ Tedla. And it says, I'm calling for a boycott of Young Miami song Spin That. I believe it's degrading to our culture. At some point, we have to take seriously the power music has over our perception and the values it reinforces. This can't be the song of the summer. So, with that take, everybody just went crazy with it. Okay? Now, people were saying like derogatory things about India.Arie to the point where some was saying, oh, she's just jealous of Miami and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, what? I think she said something else about what you consume. She was so concerned about people. We all know this. What you eat, what you listen to, what you read, what you consume, that all has an effect on you, regardless if you want to admit it or not, or you're aware of it. It does affect everything about you. That's why people say watch your diet, watch what you consume musically, watch what you view on television, the movies you see, because you subconsciously you will absorb that. And she pretty much was trying to kind of tell people to watch out for that. Sometimes people don't want to hear the truth, and we know this. Everyone's trying to make it a Young Miami versus India.Arie, as if fans can't like them both. You got to choose one, and I don't think that's necessarily correct. I think you can like both of them, but we cannot ignore the fact that young children are listening to this music. And before I go any further, let me just share this interview that Young Miami was a part of. She was in an interview with Hollywood Unlocked Jason Lee. And Jason Lee presented a scenario of what if her daughter was to come to her and said she wanted to be a, a city girl.
Mm-hmm.
And Young Miami said she ain't gonna be no city girl. And she expressed how she wanted better for her daughter. She said there's nothing wrong with being a city girl, but her daughter's not going to be a city girl.
Mm-hmm.
She said, I want her to be level headed. There's nothing wrong with a city girl. Ain't nothing wrong with that, but I don't want that for my daughter. So you don't want that for your daughter, but you're out here singing this to everyone else's daughter. Let that marinate a little bit. Let it marinate a little bit.
Yeah, but these people got to parent their own kids. I don't care what they listen to. You got to make sure you instill in your kids what's right and what's wrong. Music is music. Sometimes they get up here and sing and be telling lies all the time, but you still got to instill in your kids what's right and what's wrong.
Music is not just music. Music is a spirit. Just like alcohol, music is a spirit. Alcohol is a spirit. Spirits can alter your thoughts, alter your behavior, alter your mood.
If you allow
And
it.
if you have a person sitting here saying, I'm singing these songs to you, because Cardi B has done it too. I'm singing these songs to you,
Mm-hmm.
but they do not let their children consume it. And they don't want their children to consume it, but they'll put it out there. I guess they look at it as a job, but um, just to go back to this, Rod Wave said in his True Story lyrics, Jeezy told us trap or die, but told his son to go to college.
Hmm.
The interviewer asked him, do you feel like a lot of rappers are misleading the youth like this? Rod Wave replied, what people misunderstood about that is some people don't want to hear the truth. People are scared of the truth. So a ninja like Jeezy, he done lived it. You done been there. You know what comes with this. So for you to get on a song and tell ninjas, trap or die, he knows some ninjas that are living like that. So he's motivating others. But for the others, you're supposed to tell them, for the kids that's coming up, go to school, man. Do something because you aren't going to get nothing but death or jail out of this ish. So I'm telling them, you got to tell both sides of this. Can't just tell them chop or die. You have to tell them the whole thing. It's effed up. Talk about some real ish, you don't get the love. But you talk about perks, talk about mollies, talk about the rugs, you get love.
Because they know what sells. So these executives, they don't want to hear about saying you need to go to college, you need to make sure you get good grades, you need to do this. They don't want to hear that because they know that doesn't sell. They want to hear all the ratchet mess.
But you know what? Let's tap on that. It doesn't sell. No, it's not that it doesn't sell. You don't want it to sell the good stuff. That's why you're putting big money behind the Sexy Reds, behind the Cardi B's, behind the Meg The Stallion, behind the Young Miami and City Girls. This is not by accident because when we were growing up, we had more of a variety when it came to female rappers. We had the Little Kims, we had the Foxy Browns, but we also had the Queen Latifahs. We also had Salt and Pepper. We also had Lauryn Hill. We also had the ultimate Missy Elliott. There was more of a variety, okay? Because we're all not just one dimensional
Yeah.
as people, period.
Hmm.
But we had more to look to. We had more of a balanced diet when it comes to the female rap music. But today, let's be real. We got stripper music.
Yeah.
We got whole music. And this is not by accident because when you have someone constantly believing, not everybody has the reasoning or the experience to know that this is music. Okay, but I'm not going to live my life that way. But it's like a Pied Piper situation, right? If you only push this to our girls, to our young ladies, guess what? You have a great chance that they may not turn out to be a Michelle Obama. They might not turn out to be, um, let's see, Oprah Winfrey.
Oh,
The frequency is
that-
off. Well, yeah, that's a bad
that's a
example. We
bad
don't want to
example.
talk about that one. But I'm saying you're not going to have them with critical thinking. You're going to have them thinking that it's okay to sleep with people for money or, be promiscuous. My body is all the assets that I have. Like this is what it is. It's by design. And I like Young Miami stuff. I like ratchet music. I do. I do enjoy some of it, but I also enjoy my Lauryn Hill. But guess what? I am old enough to know, and I was raised to know that ratchet on a pole, that's not where you're trying to go. But how many people don't have that? How many people don't have the sense to know that that's not what it's all about? But if you're force fed something, because I think we're being force fed, and it's been going on for like another 10 years, we're being force fed all this ratchet, stripper, show your body, wear the thong, oh, F him and get some money and all this other stuff. They're peddling that. And most of those girls that are singing these songs, they're not living their lives like that.
No.
They're not. Most of them are not living their lives like that. But if you won't consume it, but you're okay with giving it to others, that's a problem.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. All the new songs are about buying this, trying to get that. What's that one? Say that if you love me, put me in Chanel or buy me Chanel or something. It's
Yeah.
crazy. It's crazy.
Listen, and spend all that money on these products that they think are luxury. But after what happened with China, when they blew out the water, when these tariffs came, when China was letting you know that the bag you paid 3,000 for, that what was it, the Christian Dior bag,
Yeah.
it only cost them 35 to make it.
Yeah.
I was done. I'm done. You can get a lookalike, you can get a dupe, whatever.
That's why.
Spend all that money, they want you to forever be broke.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's why
so
everybody's
it does.
buying into Canal Street.
Yeah, well, everybody, this is what I'm saying. They're so out of touch that you're sitting there showcasing that you're purchasing products that they consider illegal, and you're showing it on social media to where the point you got Canal shut down in New York. Canal Street is shut down. Everyone that knew about Canal Street, you didn't publicize it, and it was word of mouth. Now, these new people, they just want to just show everything. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But then also, D1, he was a rapper that appeared on Drink Champs, and he said it best. He said, we can love the product itself and we can hate what it represents. And it was so interesting because, D1 is an advocate for positive messaging and music,
Hmm.
and He had this nice backpack. I think he was at Rolling Loud, and he was given a backpack. They gifted it to him, and he put the backpack on the table, and it had duct tape on it. So it's duct tape at the top and duct tape at the bottom.
Hmm.
And I'm like, what? Why is that like that? But what he did was, he liked the bag, but he didn't like the brand. He didn't like what they represented.
Oh.
So he accepted the bag, and he put the duct tape over the brand name. He shared that. He was like, this is, as an example.
Hmm.
I like the bag. I like the quality of it. It's probably the best bag I've ever had. It's so many pockets, blah, blah, blah. But then he also said, I don't like what the brand represents. So we can love Young Miami, but we don't have to like what she is putting out there. And she herself knows
Yeah.
that it's not a good message.
That,
But because
that was a good
she's,
example with the backpack.
huh?
That was a good example that you gave with the backpack and related it to Young Miami. That was a good example.
Exactly. And it's like, honestly, you're allowing yourself to be used as a tool. It sounds like Miami grew up in survival mode.
Yeah,
A person that grew up in love is different from a person who grew up in survival mode.
I agree.
Maybe she's thinking, hey, I'm doing the job. This is making my money. I'm paying my bills. And someone else may think and say, hey, regardless of what this job is paying, this job doesn't align with my morals, and I'm not going to do it.
Wow.
I was on a recent call with someone who's in the industry, a different industry. Her separation from her previous management was along the lines of them asking her to do something that didn't sit right with her morally.
Mm-hmm.
And regardless of how much it paid, she turned it down.
Wow.
And it's so refreshing because she said she would continue to do that because she doesn't want to mislead the youth. She doesn't want to do anything that makes the children think what she was going to do was okay. She cares about the future of our children. And therefore, she turned down this very lucrative job because it didn't align with her morally. And she didn't want the children to think it was okay with what she lent her talent to. And I'm like, oh my gosh. It was so refreshing to hear someone say that.
Yeah, yeah. And you look at that, that may work for some, but it may not work for others because some may be, like you said, starving, hungry, in survival mode. So they have to take whatever they can get to be able to feed their family. But hopefully things will change where they don't have to jump at everything that comes their way.
I don't know. You always have a choice. You always have a choice.
Yeah.
And if you decide to put out bad stuff or you decide to be a part of something that you know in your heart is not good for the sake of money, that money comes and goes fast. I think they reason with themselves and they justify their actions by that. But I know of people who have went through even more than I can even fathom, and they still haven't sold their souls or go on their morals. It's about your decision.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's about you and where you stand morally. I saw also that Young Miami said she didn't want her children to be raised the way she was raised.
Hmm.
And then someone also posted and said that her mother was a booster, that her mother was fleeing the scene where she had shoplifted somewhere and she ended up running somebody over with a car
Oh, wow.
and unaliving them. Yes,
Oh.
yes. And I saw where one of the victims' family members said, she was also against that Miami singing a song
Mm.
about the very same thing that led to her loved one being unalived.
Wow.
So honestly, all of this stuff is a conscious decision. I know people who grew up with less and went through the trenches, but they turned out to be decent people. I think a lot of times is an excuse because we've all been in places, low places, where we probably needed money or we weren't in a good space. But did you really go against what your morals and values are? You know?
Yeah, your morals and values, and also not trying to, be an embarrassment to your family.
Yeah, exactly. When I saw that interview with Jason Lee And I'm like, she's well aware of what she's doing,
Mm,
but she's probably rationalizing it because she's feeding her family.
yeah.
I can't even tell you how many countless times having conversations with people and they're justifying the bad behavior of others, and they're saying, well, they had to feed their family. Oh, well, that's what they just do and stuff like that. That stuff rubs me the wrong way because it's who you are at the core. You can sit there and say, well, this happened. That's why I did what I did. No, that's who you are. You probably hid it for a long time, but that's just who you are.
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes you got to make a sacrifice. Maybe I don't eat the steak. I got to eat rice and beans this week because I don't have it.
Exactly. But if you're sitting there encouraging people to go shoplift and spend that cash and all that other stuff, you're co-signing it regardless. And someone else started to say something like, oh, well, she probably didn't write that song. A man wrote it for her. And India.Arie was like, you guys making up all these excuses. Regardless, if you did write it or not, the fact that you're performing it, you are part of the problem too. And I like the song, but I wouldn't want my nieces listening to it and believing it. And if they did, I would have a conversation saying, hey, that's not real life, right? That's not where you should be going.
Yeah, yeah,
That's why we're in this situation as a country now, because of someone feeding them and they're not doing their research and they're not having enough sense to realize that they're being fed nonsense.
yeah, yeah. Wow.
And I will never forget the day where what's his name? Offset had a video. He went live, I think. And it was Cardi B was sweeping and cleaning. And he was sitting there making fun of it, saying, hey, this is the same person that raps about I don't cook, I don't clean. Look at her, she's cleaning. It was something along that. Don't It wasn't word for word, but it was something along those lines.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, look at that. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of times these artists are just saying this is a job and they're
Yeah,
going at it like as this is a job, but you're affecting people's lives and a lot of impressionable people. But a lot of times they don't even care about it because they feel like, hey, I'm taking care of my family. That's all that matters. It's up to other people to do what they got to do. And I do agree. You have to start at home also to educate your kids and uplift them, because this world is not the ones you want to have them to look for as a moral compass or how they should behave. That we already know this, okay? But also when you have people contributing to the negativity of our people, when you have people that look like them saying these things like it's okay, especially with the Jeezy situation. Jeezy was telling everybody to trap or die, but he had his son go to college.
hmm. Yeah,
And everybody would say, oh, it's just music and, it's stuff like that. It's more than music. And music is very influential. Why do you think the people who are at the top for a reason? So they can control the frequencies. They can control the narrative. They can control what is being fed to the masses. If you turn on a pop station, do you know those 13-year-old girls? They're listening to songs by Taylor Swift. They're listening to songs that's telling them that they're beautiful. They're listening to the songs that's encouraging them to be good and be different. But when you listen to our music that's tailored to our young girls, what are they getting? Coochie popping music. Coochie popping stripper get money. That's what it's all about. So what if you do this, or what if you cheat? Just get the bag. This is what we're getting. This is what they're feeding our children, and it's all by design.
yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah, and I like Young Miami, but Young Miami also know what she's doing is not. It's not on the up and up, and she knows it. But at the end of the day, she's in this world. She's going to make the money. Some people justify that by the money. We had a more variety. We had neo soul, we had hip hop, we had R&B, and now we're getting force fed the bad parts of hip hop. You always got to have a balance. You're always going to have your little Kims. You're always going to have, oh, you even have Rhapsody. You'll have, Lauryn Hill. We had Queen Latifah. We had, even on the men's side, we had the D1. You had like the Rod Waves and stuff like that. You also had Kendrick Lamar. I think the men have more of a variety, but when it comes to the women, we do not. And why do you think that's the case? Why do you think that's the case, that they're constantly feeding us these ratchet rapper girls? Why do you think that?
They don't want us to get ahead.
Exactly. Because they know black women are influential. Black women are the backbone of our culture in America. Let's be real. That's the moral compass
Yeah.
of our culture are black women. So if you get enough of them popping pills, popping coochie, having babies, just out here drugging, then you don't have to worry about someone standing upright and walking and making an impactful presence in this world, educating, telling people to go to college. And black women are what? What is it? The most educated demographic
Yeah.
in America.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you don't want that. Let's feed them nonsense. Let them think it's okay. Let's give them love and hip hop. Let's give them bad baddies, a bad girl club,
Ooh,
whatever they call that stuff.
terrible. Yeah. Terrible.
Exactly. Let's give them Real Housewives of Atlanta, all that
Uh,
stuff to
ratchet.
show them in a negative way.
Yep.
Huh?
Straight up ratchet. Straight up ratchet TV.
Ratchet TV. And I
Mm-mm.
would say this. I remember speaking to a female rap artist who was traveling in Africa, and she was asked, are all the black women like the women on Love and Hip Hop?
Oh wow.
She was saddened by what was asked of her. So if you think that this music is just music, or you think Love and Hip Hop is just a show, think again. And people think that it's just within the States. No. Why would they allow Love and Hip Hop to be seen over there in those other countries?
Right. Because they want to depict us as something that's not good.
They want to feed into that stereotype. So when they do what they do to us, no one would have empathy for us. It's all by design. The older I get, I realize none of this stuff is by accident. It's all by design. One guy said, "Oh, it's just a song. It's just a song." No, it's not just a song. And if you look beyond it, you will see it's much, much more. So parents, hug up on your children, teach your young men as well, your young boys and your girls. You got to uplift them. You got to make sure that you tell them who they are and what they represent. Oh, and let's go to this now. Um, Now, I don't know if you're familiar with rapper Jackie O. I love Jackie O. Jackie O was also along the lines in the era with the Little Kim. So you had Trina, you had Little Kim, you had Foxy, you had Jackie O. Now, Jackie O is now a minister. She changed her life. She turned her life around.
Oh wow.
And yeah, yeah. And she posted this recently on her Facebook page. And she had an apology for JT. Now, JT is the other member of City Girls. City Girls consist of Young Miami and JT. She had a message for Young Miami. I'm sorry, for JT, and she posted it on her page. Now let me go there and tell you what she said because I found it very interesting that she regrets what she did. She apologized for what she did, her part of contributing to the ratchet music style.
Mm-hmm.
And let me tell you what she said.
These conversations is always like a learning session for myself. Because once we get off the phone, I'm always going back to the internet trying to figure out who's who, looking at the faces with the name and seeing if I can go see a backstory on this person. This is a learning experience for me too, because I don't know all this stuff that you're sharing with me either.
I know. I just love music. I do. I just love music, period.
Like
That's
Jackie
just
O,
my
who's
thing.
that? So now I got to go back after we hang up and go check out who Jackie O is.
Okay. Yeah, go look her up. Jackie O. And then now she goes by a Minister Angela. She posted this on her Facebook. I saw several interviews where JT said my rap career inspired her. I failed her.
Wow.
I was lost back then. And if I truly inspired her, this isn't the path I would have hoped she'd be on. I see all the backlash they are getting, and being from Miami, that saddens me. As women, we have to be better at being role models for those coming up after us. So when I say I failed her, I mean that. I remember her as a little girl asking me for a picture, and she told me they call her Little Jackie O. As a little girl, she knew she was going to be a rapper. I remember this clearly. It hurts to see her dressed as the devil, etc.
Oh,
I know it's her life and her career, but I pray for them all the time. And I'm so sorry if I had anything to do with this.
oh, wow.
So that came from, formerly known as Jackie O, Minister Angela. I found that very interesting that somebody who was actually in position like JT and Young Miami and Megan Thee Stallion and Sexy Red, that she herself have realized that that wasn't the way to go. And then also on Sexy Red situation, she has a lip gloss line. And the lip glosses are named after an STD
Oh my God.
and bodily fluids.
Come on.
Yep, an STD and bodily fluids.
That's going too far. Oh my God.
So this is what our youth are getting. These girls being force fed this because that's all they're putting money into. Got to be careful. Check out, see what your children are listening to. If the world had it their way, our kids would be coochie popping, stripping, all kinds of crazy stuff. They don't want them to be educated. You see what's happening now, where our country is going. They're taking away rights. They're trying to, erase what's going on. They're perpetuating this lie about who we as a people are. When someone says it's just music, nah, my brother, it's more than just music.
Wow.
It's programming, it's conditioning, it's messaging.
Yeah, that's crazy. What?
Yep. So on that note, everybody stay up.
Got it. All right, my girl. I'ma holler at you later.
Okay, holla.
All right,
Be
talk to you.
good.
Bye.